and welcome back to another episode of Movies and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Marcus.
And this is Theme Month. I'm not going to go to do the spiel because it's Theme Month. We're in the last movie of my Theme Month.
Finally.
Of dark fantasy.
Terrible fantasy movies. The worst kind of fantasy movies.
It's just a prelude to this review. Me and Marcus have vastly different opinions in this movie, and I think we watched two different movies because he's wrong. Anyway,
this movie's
we're covering a 1986 film release of Labyrinth.
Boo.
I got confused there. It was directed by Jim Henson, the screenplay by Terry Jones, story by Dennis Lee and Jim Henson, produced by Eric Raftray?
Let me see. Rat Ray.
It stars David Bowie, Jennifer Connelly, Toby Froud, Christopher Malcolm, Shelley Thompson, and apparently a juggler named Michael Mochin performed.
And a lot of dumb puppets.
And a lot of puppets, yes. There's a lot of names here. I'm going to go and say, if you want to know all the names, because there's like a list of like 24 names here who were behind the puppets. I thought they did a good job with the puppets. So go look at the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, or don't.
If you're interested in who was behind them. All right. So the movie is... How long is this movie? 1 hour, 41 minutes?
It's long. Is it hour 41? I feel like I watched a longer one.
No,
it's hour 40. God damn, it was stupid.
It's an hour 41. It had a budget of $25 million and it made $34 million worldwide in the box office. Do your thing.
Well, you say $35 million, and I could not find the lists for it properly. Like I think we had the issue last time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did Legend, and they couldn't do it properly. So it's the same year Legend came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's slightly lower than Legend within just the domestic box office.
Okay.
But worldwide, it probably made top 30.
Yeah, it hit $34 million top Y.
Yeah, so maybe like around number 31 in the box office. But yeah, we've done it before, so it's Top Gun at the top. And other movies, yeah. We did the box office like literally 3 weeks ago. So I was like, I don't know.
So no box office thing for you this week is what you're saying?
I got nothing to add with this. Like, I'm not trying to be a negative guy. I'm saying we did the box office just 3 weeks ago.
You know.
And it's really like 2 spots away from the Legend, I think. 3 spots. Oh. And the one that's only worldwide, Legend's at 56, and this is at 66. So I could get a top or this 70 through 60, but they're all no-name movies. Doesn't matter. Or Critters at 64, so that's good, I guess.
Like, did your dog die or something? You sound really, like, defeated and depressed.
Yeah, I watched this movie, TJ.
This movie is fantastic.
Maximum Overdrive came out this year, number 86. I'd rather watch that movie. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 came out as well, at number 83. Trick or Treat. Troll? Wow, what a year for horror movies. Holy shit. Invaders from Mars, Vamp, King Kong Lives. Yeah, that's all I got. I'm just scrolling down to the bottom. This is movies I've never heard of. Streets of Gold. But back to you, TJ.
I'm waiting for you to finish there. Yeah.
I'm done. Yeah.
There is a lot of behind the scenes stuff,
but not much worth mentioning.
But there's nothing really like it. Just obviously there's a lot of work that went into the puppets. Like they had whole teams that like for each puppet. That's how intricate they were. But nothing like newsworthy, I would say. It's basic movie behind-the-scenes stuff.
Well, I will say it's newsworthy.
Yes,
and all that being said and done, this movie was technically a flop. It did not do good in the box office. Audience went well received to it initially. It became a cult classic later. Like the last production, I think, Jim Henson directed.
Yeah.
So that's pretty big, unfortunately, and sadder parts of the news.
Yeah, I mean, if this movie came out today, it would have made more money than it did back then.
I don't know. Maybe.
No, it definitely would have, because, like, I read the reviews back then, and it's just 80s think tank. You know?
Yeah, but you also got to think, if it came out today, it probably would be on a streaming service, and it'd be more directed to kids, which is fine. So it would have the kid viewership. I don't think it'd be like, well, let's word of mouth would say, hey guys, you see this movie, go watch it. It's on whatever service you're on. If it's good. It might have gotten that, but I don't think it would have been like top box office level numbers.
Nah, I think it would have hit up there because the movies that hit top box office these days are kids' films and superhero films.
Yeah, but most of them are like animated kids' films or superhero films.
Well, that's fair. This would have probably been more CG-ish than practical.
And I think that would have hurt the film. Like, this is a special kind of...
You know what? Maybe a decade later it would have been more popular than it was.
In the 90s? Yeah, sure. I think the 80s, well, the dark fantasy in the 80s, I think that was too early for that stuff to be properly successful.
Like, I was reading some of the reviews and they were like the dark tone is kind of... It's like, what are you talking about? And like, all the most popular 80s movies today are the ones with the dark tones that everyone loves. And it's like... And back then, the dark tones were what got them panned. So
go back to the box office and get that page back up. What was successful? Top Gun, Crocodile Dundee, Platoon was kind of dark. Karate Kid Part 2, Star Trek 4, Back to School, Aliens. Like, not much of it. God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was looking at The Golden Child. They were kind of upbeat films, kind of. I don't know about Star Trek. I don't know about Back to School. I think it's comedy.
I think Star Trek. Which one was it? Star Trek?
4, The Voyage Home.
Oh, that's when they went back in time to save whales.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, see, exactly. I know Aliens is a horror, but it's a sequel, so it's like more action horror. Ferris Bueller's number 10. Stand By Me also came in, but that's kind of dark too, though.
Yeah, but that's more of a coming of age kind of story than... I mean, this one's kind of is too, but...
Yeah, and I don't think I would classify Labyrinth as a dark film. It's creepy with, I guess, the creatures and all that shit, but it's not dark.
The movie we watched last week was darker than this one.
What was last week? Was it Legend?
Return to Oz.
Yes, it was. It was. This was just more playful and childish. And,
it was more of a overall general kids movie.
Yes.
Which was David Bowie's fault, but, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, he wanted it to be more humorous and stuff like that. They actually considering opting out of the script because it wasn't humorous enough and stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna have this podcast is full of unpopular opinions about me, so buckle up, people. I think this movie would have done just as good, if not better, if David Bowie wasn't in it. Like, I'm not saying he dragged the movie down at all, but like, he was just a part of the movie. It wasn't like, oh, David Bowie's in it. Like, if you didn't know who David Bowie was and you saw this movie, you would have come out like, oh, that Goblin King, man, he crushed it.
I agree on the aspect of him as an actor, but I think his music's what makes this movie iconic in a lot of people's eyes.
The 3 or 4 songs I skipped through because they're so pointless in the movie.
Songs are good.
They're not good.
Okay.
They're not good.
We're really on different things. These songs are good.
Hated them. It literally had the songs in this movie had my same criticism that La La Land had and majority of dumb musicals have. They are in the way of the story, and they don't add anything more to it. And these songs did not add anything. Like, hey, let's do a song break because we got David Bowie in it. Sure, that's what it was. Or he said, make this movie more delightful, and I got to do at least 4 sons or 5 songs to make this movie and be in this movie. Sure, Bowie, why not?
There's only like 2 or 3 song breaks in the entire movie.
Exactly. They're pointless. And I think I counted how many that is. I skipped 3 songs. Yeah, 3 songs. I wrote down and I skipped through this one, I skipped through my second one, I skipped through the third one. Yeah, and each one of them is like, why are we doing this? If you're going to be a musical, be a musical. If you're not going to be a musical, why have a song break? Oh, David Bowie. That's why they're in there, because of David Bowie.
You're wrong. Because these songs are kind of what people remember. These songs, you know, they're
like 2 minutes each. Like, you remember 6 minutes. You said in 3 songs, 2 minutes each. There's 6 minutes about the whole movie. You remember the most of the shit songs. They're pointless.
The soundtrack of
slow
it is
the goddamn movie down.
I didn't say it's the most memorable thing, I think, but it makes the movie iconic in a bunch of people's eyes.
It dates it the shit, and it's bad.
How does it date it? The songs are nowhere near. There's no pop culture references or anything in it.
But the sounds. Like second, like when the movie starts, the main character does her thing. You hear the synthesized 80s shit. And Dave Bowie comes on and does the singing. Again, I'm not saying David Bowie's bad at singing or acting. I like the guy. I liked the guy. Like, I am not trying to bash him at all. I'm not bashing even the performances at all. It's just like, it's David Bowie in the 80s. So it's like, yeah, sure, it's an 80s movie, and it sounds like an 80s movie. It looks like an 80s movie. It's all dated.
I didn't feel it dated at all.
Oh, man. I did. From beginning to end.
No, and I think the songs have meaning to them. Each one of them. Well, there's one that's pretty pointless. There's
second one.
The one in the forest.
Yeah, the dancing thing.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I warned you about that scene even before. That's the one with the terrible CGI and stuff.
God.
That is... Even Jim Henson was like, didn't really want to do it. He saw it looked pretty bad, but the puppets were... He felt the puppets were good and needed to be put in just because of what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's not a very good scene.
Yeah. I just don't think the songs. Granted, again, I skipped the songs, so I think I gave the first one a couple of seconds of a chance. Like, now, not in the mood for that.
Like, it doesn't even sound like you gave the movie a chance.
I gave the movie a chance.
You say you gave the movie a chance, but sounds like you went in wanting to hate this movie.
No. I think I did. 'Cause I read my first note recently. Like, oh yeah, I didn't go and hating it, wanting to hate it, but the thing they did at the beginning, like, oh, this movie. But then it was like a joke, like, oh, okay, cool movie, you got me. I'm still back on board. But I went in because I've heard about this movie. It's Labyrinth. We've heard about it for forever, so it's been on my list for years, thinking I'm going to enjoy this movie. Never got to it because I'm lazy and a bum. Got to do the review. I sit down and watch it. Like, cool, I can finally watch Labyrinth. The last three dark horror movies, dark fantasy movies, whatever. Not my genre, apparently. But this one, hopefully it is. So I went in ready. Not high expectation, not over low expectation, just sitting down and ready to watch it. Got through it. I got to a point in the movie, I was like, this movie. Got to the end of it, like, really hate this movie. But I gave it a chance. I didn't come in more like, I don't want to hate this, because that's pointless. It's just like, damn, it's not for me. It's not for me.
No, I mean, that's fair. It doesn't need to be for you, but the amount of hate you're putting on it is undeserved.
Because it's not good. Like, it's not, okay. If it was the first one we watched during this genre bullshit we're doing, it probably would have been a higher score for me. But 4 of these in a row, and like, I feel like each one's gotten worse. Or no, the first one was good. First one was okay, it's forgettable. Second one, Legend, was bad. And it can only get better, so we got the Lord Feast thing.
Return of Oz.
Yeah, and then I felt like it was like a shitty roller coaster I didn't want to be on. Like, and like, forget where I was going. But I don't know, man. Like, oh yeah, this movie was clearly for kids. It was clearly made in the 80s. So I was an 80s kid. I'm not a kid now in the 80s. I'm a 30-year-old man in the 2000s. So it's like, this isn't for me, so why should we sit through an hour and 40? Even if I was a parent at right now showing my kid this movie, I'd be like, some movies I can get invested in. I like kids' movies, so some of them I get invested in. This one I'd be like, this is terrible. I'm going to do my chores. I don't want to watch this movie with my kid. It just doesn't rub me right at all.
All right.
And I thought this review would point out what I hated about this movie.
That's fine, and I'm going to defend it, so...
That's perfectly fine.
All right. I think that's all the preamble we need for this one.
Yes. I don't feel there's anything I read that I want to talk about. No.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. I do have a few trailers, because I have the Blu-ray of this.
Okay. I watched this on Tubi, by the way. That's Tubi, ladies and gentlemen. This movie's so bad, not even any major streaming services want it. It's on f***ing Tubi for free. Like, come on, TJ.
That doesn't mean anything.
Nah, sure, because Tubi has some good picks on it. I'm not gonna lie.
So the first trailer we actually covered before, because I don't know why this is a reoccurring trailer, but The Water Horse, Legend of the Deep again.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch that movie.
Yeah, and then we got 2 separate trailers for the animated movie Open Season.
It's a bad movie.
And its sequel.
No, it's a really bad movie.
Yeah, they looked really bad. I also got a trailer for Monster House.
It's a movie. Spielberg, I think, produced that one.
Yeah, I think I remember his name being on there. And then we got Surf's Up.
That's a movie that's coming back in popularity for people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the Penguin Surfing movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the 30th anniversary of Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
It's a movie. That's a movie.
So they are all movies.
A lot of Spielberg movies, but then I'm realizing this was a George Lucas produced film. So
we didn't mention that George Lucas was involved in this, even though he's not in any of the credits.
No, he was involved in this. He was involved in Willow.
No, he was involved in this too.
Yeah, but this Willow. What else was there? Any other? No, not the other two.
No, he was involved with Return of Oz.
Was he?
Yeah, he vouched. Well, I don't know if he was involved in the movie, but he definitely vouched for the director in that movie.
I mean, again, that makes sense because he was a powerhouse in the 80s.
All right, with that, I don't know why I put my notes away.
Done the movie already?
Let's dive in this movie proper, I suppose. All right, so we open up with musical owl credits. That's what I have written down.
Okay, what's the symbolism of this owl?
What's the symbolism of the owl?
Well, first off, okay, apparently the whole story is like people have read into it and like, oh, maybe it's like a journey for females, for this female from, I guess she's a teenager.
Oh, it's a story about growing up.
How is this a story about growing up?
Okay. I'm gonna have to explain this to you. Okay.
Like, that was my biggest thing about this movie. My biggest, like, I could see how, like, every bullshit encounter she had would teach her a lesson about life and whatever the No, nothing taught her anything, in my opinion. Just, hey, don't give your brother up to a fucking Goblin King and then be upset that he took it because you gave it up to him. Stop being a bad person. That's all I got from the movie. Not once did I figure, like, oh, that's a lesson she learned while encountering the heads and shit like that, the hands, and, like... So, yeah, okay. What's the movie? Like, how is this a thing for growing up?
I'll as we go through the movie, I'll explain it.
Okay.
So we like I said, we open up with musical Al credits. Not a very good CGI Al either.
1980s screensaver Al.
Yeah, I mean, but then it was 1985 or 86, and were screensavers even a thing then?
Yes.
I don't think home computers were a thing then.
Yeah, I don't know when that became. Was it 90s? I guess.
I don't know. Actually,
I know definitely for 90s, but maybe 80s too. I don't know.
All I'm saying is it's more impressive than you think, but not by today's standards.
Yes. Again, they're not aged like the movie.
So, and we open up with our main character, Sarah. She is kind of like acting out a play, essentially, to herself in the park.
Yes.
So
okay, I have a few minutes on this. She's acting it out, but like you don't know she's acting it out until she pulls up the screenplay of Labyrinth, or whatever the story she's reading. The
script, essentially, or the play.
So the director, the people behind the scenes are like throwing us. What's it called? They're doing like a joke on us, like, "Hey guys, it's a fantasy," but like. We're making fun of it. So, like, I was, like, initially like, oh, of course it's a princess. And she's wearing a white dress. It's like, oh, of course it's a princess in a white dress. Of course. It's just like Legend. And I had a big eye roll. But then the reveal made me like, oh, okay, good job, movie. You got me. It's going to be a good movie. I like this already. Man, I was mistaken.
Anyway.
But also, notice she's in the park by herself.
With her dog.
By herself and her dog. Okay, sure. Remember that. Someone bringing it up soon. So remember that.
Okay. Well, she's in the play, and then the clock tower rings. By the way, this is contemporary American 1980s. Got to point that out. She's just a regular person.
Yeah. Yes.
So she's doing this. She realizes she's an hour late, so she starts running home, and it starts raining. She gets home. She gets scolded by her stepmother.
I mean, she says it's her stepmother, so I guess it's her.
Yeah, stepmother. Scolded by her stepmother, and pretty much she acts like a child and says, "I hate you," and runs up into her room.
Yes. Okay, and that is my brain. Okay, she says, "I hate you. I could be out with my friends right now doing things." And I'm thinking to myself, lady, listen, you're in the park by yourself with no friends.
Well, no, what the thing is, she comes running home and the mom's like, we're going out. You need to watch your brother. And she's like, well, what happens if I have plans? She's like, but she doesn't. And she's like, and the stepmom's like, well, if you had plans, and we wouldn't do this. So if you tell me, but then she says, then the older Sarah says, you never asked me if I have any plans. How would you know?
Well, with parents do this every week, so you can always just communicate with your parents. Hey, by the way, Mom and Dad, I got plans coming up this weekend, so if you think you do every weekend, call someone else. The character's not likable, TJ. None of the characters in me were likable. That's what I'm trying to drive at. I get she's a snot-nosed kid, but like, god damn it.
That's the point. She is.
But she doesn't get better throughout the movie. This is her throughout the whole movie.
She's bratty here. Yes, she does get better. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I don't see her getting better because I'm just stuck on her doing this and then they give me away the kid scene later. Like, you just suck throughout the whole movie.
So she's all bratty and she goes to her room, and then we get a look at her room, and it's filled with like dolls and books and stuff. A lot of the dolls and like the toys and stuff are reminiscent of what's coming.
Yeah, it's called foreshadowing.
It's all foreshadowing.
Yes.
Something movies Marcus picks don't know how to do.
A lot of movies do this, though.
Yeah, nothing you have picked.
Sorry. I'm sorry I pick underground movies that you pick in popular movies.
You mean actual structured movies with structure and have endings and,
Yes.
But, so, they show us some of the books the Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland, so you know what you're getting, essentially.
Yes.
And so the parents go out, leaving Sarah with her baby brother Toby, who is just crying nonstop. And Sarah comes in and starts essentially monologuing. So, like, the way she's acting here feels like she's very much a theater girl.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Over the top. Over
the top, and that's just who she is, and she's like acting this out. Like, yes. I'm gonna give away the you to the Goblin King and say the words and stuff like that. And so Toby's crying, and she's gonna say, so she pretends to say the word, and then she doesn't say the words. And then when she lies Toby down then she finally says the words, and Toby stops crying, and he's gone. And now there's goblins in her room. And you hated this.
Yeah, I don't mind the goblins are fine. The goblins were funny. It was cool when I first introduced them. Supposed to go back and forth with her and the goblins. But then, yeah, she gives away the goblins, gives away her kid brother, because she's an overacting teenage person. And
but
then,
you're acting like she intentionally gave the brother the Goblin King. She's just being overacted. She's very into this play. She's very into this, and she doesn't know this is real at the moment. She's just frustrated that she's in this situation, and she like Goblin King. She didn't actually think the Goblin King was gonna come and take her brother away.
Just such like
because the Goblin King shows up, and she's like, "Where's my brother?" And she's like, "You asked me." She's like, "I didn't actually mean that. Give me my brother back."
Well, then don't do the thing. Don't. She's literally, but she's like,
no. Listen,
listen, because I'm gonna say this for you, because she's literally saying, I hate that I'm babysitting you. I hope you die, brother. I wish death upon you. You can't say those kind of things, even if it's a joke, not intending those things.
Wish death upon her.
I'm saying, like, it's kind of like metaphorically. She's like, I hate you, brother and family. I hope you guys die. They died. Oh my god.
Have you ever been a teenager?
Yes.
And you've never felt, I hate you for being this thing. You have siblings. You've never just hated your siblings for no reason.
Them for sure, but I never wished upon them to be taken by it or dying. That's morbid. That's terrible.
She didn't wish that she died. She's just like obsessed with this.
Damn near close.
She's obsessed with this play.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, the Goblin King will come and take you away. It's not a serious thing.
I know it's not, but it's just a terrible thing to do to something.
And she's just, venting rage to a 2-year-old. I'm assuming 2. I don't know how it's actually.
He's literally a baby just crying, like.
Yeah, and she's just venting her rage. The child doesn't know what she's saying.
She's too old to be going up to this little child. I hate you. I hate you so much. Goblin can't take this thing. She doesn't. She's be an adult. Be a teenager who's like someone cares about this little child.
Well, and that's my hope. That's the whole point of this movie, right here. She is a spoiled, immature child.
Yes.
And this whole experience is what's going to bring her out of that.
I don't see it in the movie. I don't see it in the movie. And then the Goblin King shows up. You want to talk about that real quick before I bring this part up too?
Oh, hold on. Before that,
okay.
She gets mad because Toby steals her stuffed bear. That's important.
Thinks.
No,
is it for sure? Did he take it?
Yeah, he did take it because it's in the kids' room.
In the Goblin area or this area?
No, in the kids in Toby's room, the bear was on the floor.
Okay.
So that he did take.
Hold on. How the hell did this child take the bear? That was like he's in the crib. Can he walk?
Yeah, he can walk.
Can he climb up her bed and to get that one bear of all the bears? Because that bear was in a weird situation. Are you sure like the one the parents to give him the bear to play with?
We don't know. They don't tell us.
Yeah, so you can't blame the baby for this.
But apparently this has happened before, that he's taken some of her things out of her room.
I would have blamed the bear on the kid, though. I would have blamed him on someone, sure, but not the kid.
Well, the kid wants the bear. He probably cried enough. Even if the parents did, he probably cried for the bear enough for them to give it to him. So
that's on the parents then. Like, hey, kid.
But you don't know that. Maybe
I know. I'm just saying.
Maybe the kid climbed up on a chair and got on their bed. Maybe the bed's not there. He's 2 years old. They show him walking and stuff. He's not like a tiny baby that can't do things.
That's so dangerous.
When's the last time you dealt with a kid like that's small?
That time, a 2-year-old?
Yeah.
In a minute.
Yeah, like they get around. All right, so the goblins take the baby and the baby's gone. And then in comes David Bowie.
Yay.
Goblin King. So like I said, she didn't mean what she was saying, and he's like, okay, so you have 13 hours to get to the center of Labyrinth and get him back, and you can have him back. But you could always not do that, and I can give you all your dreams, essentially. And she's like, no, I want my brother back. I'm gonna go into it. So I guess they transport into the Labyrinth world.
Yes. And now, all that being said, I don't think he's a bad guy. He's not a villain in this movie, in my opinion. She offered up a thing, and he took the thing as an offer. He'd come in and just sneak in the room and like, well, oh, this is mine now.
I don't. No, he's not a traditional villain in that sense. And I don't think he's like...
I don't think he's villainous at all. He's doing the thing he does.
Well, he's very mean to the inhabitants of the Labyrinth.
Yeah, but also, like, what's he do? Like, what's his job? Is he like, he just sits in a throne being bored, it looks like.
But, like... All right, before we get into all that, let me just go a little further into the story here. So, and she's like, no, I don't want that. I didn't like this scene at all because David Bowie transforms as a crystal into a snake and throws it at her. And I like that. I don't do snakes.
It's great.
And so, but yeah, so now she's going into the Labyrinth. So the world of the Labyrinth is like lit differently, and it looks neat.
It looks neat, and it looks barren, but it's still lively in a weird way.
Yeah, I mean, the Labyrinth is interesting because it's not an actual labyrinth, as it kind of shifts and moves. It's like magic.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's going to the Labyrinth and trying to find an entrance. She comes across Hoggle, a dwarf, I think it is, and she comes upon him peeing in a pond, and then he's got like this giant cartoon insect repellent thing, and he's murdering fairies with them. So, and Sarah's like, "What are you doing? They're fairies," and he's like. And then one of the fairies bites him. So fairies are just insects in this world, which I found funny.
I did enjoy that.
And she's like, all right, Hoggle's just not helpful at all. She's like, she asks him how to get into the Labyrinth, and he's like very riddly with it and stuff. And then he finally says, the doors are right there. And so she enters the Labyrinth.
Well, that's my gripe with this movie and dark fantasy movies in general. Like, she asks him a question. It's like a shitty like D&D playing. She asks, "Hey, where's the entrance to the thing?" or whatever. And he's like, "That's not the right question." It's like, how do I get in? But like, it's just like she's got to pry the right question or answer out of him, saying the right set of words. It's like. That's not the whole movie. It's like, you gotta do it this way, not that way. Nothing's as it seems. It gets exhausting. It gets really miserably exhausting real quick because that's not fun. That's not enthralling. That's not exciting. It's just like, really? Like, because you know what my intent, you know what I meant. Just tell me, just give me the goddamn thing. I meant. Like, but the point of I'm not being an asshole to you. I'm legit asking, hey, how do I get in here? Oh, you didn't say the right thing. It's like, oh my god, now I hate you and I hate this world.
Except the whole Labyrinth is designed against her for that purpose.
And I know, but that's so
It's
exhausting.
not like the other fantasy movies where, things are obtuse for no reason. Whereas this one, the Labyrinth and the inhabitants, well, most of them anyway, are actively trying to keep her from reaching the center of the thing. So being, obtuse and riddly is purposeful.
Yeah, but like, if you want her to get lost in there, just let her in. Like, oh, you want to find an entrance? It's somewhere on that wall. Go touch it or something. Don't be like, oh, there's nothing. It's just like, it just reminds me of like bad D&D playing. Like, of course, DM, you know what I mean. I'm not being an asshole to his player, this character.
It's not.
But now I'm gonna murder her though.
Bad D&D player. A good player, a good DM does that purposely.
Oh no, it's so annoying. I've always hated it. It's like the worst thing.
Just because you hate it doesn't mean it's bad.
It's bad because you don't want me to murder her though. But, like, you're doing these things like, I'm going to murder Hobo now. I have no remorse against this, guys.
That's because you are an impatient person.
I'm very patient. But shit like this makes me impatient. Like, because you know what I meant. You know my intent.
Yeah, and and Hoggle's intentionally being that way to be a jerk.
Yeah, because
he is a jerk.
He is. But
that is his character arc.
It's fine if like one thing's a jerk, but every living thing is essentially a jerk. In this fucking world, it's like essentially everything. Essentially everything.
You're absolutely wrong because when she gets into the Labyrinth, she finds that it just keeps going in a straight. There's no turns or anything, and then she comes across a friendly talking worm.
Yeah, a cute little worm. Yeah, and he says something to her. He's like, "It's not that way." or don't go that way, or whatever. It's just like, oh my god, it just seems like
He asked her in for tea. All right,
which is nice. But she's always on a time crunch. She's like, I can't come out. Like, I gotta go, so like, I do nothing.
He doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that. It was obviously she's in this fucking rush, and she could, I guess, be saying these things more so like, hey, I'm looking for my little brother. I'm in a rush. I can't. I'm sorry, etc., etc.
Right, exactly. Actually, I did like this part of with the worm because she's like,
so did I.
She was like, there's no turns or anything. He's like, what do you mean? There's a turn right there. And she walks over to it, and it's just perspective. The walls look like. I thought that was really cool, actually.
It was cool, and it was well done because I expected her to walk through like shitty CGI. Like, oh no, she's walking through another layer, and it looked really well done. Like, damn, that was good.
Yeah. I really appreciated some of the effects in this movie.
Yes. And then when she goes down the tunnel, and he says to the camera, "Yeah, the other way leads right to the castle. You don't go that way." I'm like, ha, that's funny. That's where she wants to go. Get it, guys. Anyways,
you are just cynical.
No, that was legit funny. He's like,
I thought you sounded like you were being sarcastic.
No, because she was going to go the one way. He's like, hey, no, don't go that way. Go the other way. And he looks at us like, that goes to the castle. I wish you want to go there. Like, that's funny because that would have saved her an hour of the movie. Like, that was great.
I was about to say.
And her communicating, like, hey, I want to go to the castle would have helped her get that, but she didn't communicate it properly. So, like, that interaction of her and the worm, fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's fair. He's like, don't go down that way, because he wasn't trying to deceive her at first, because he's like, that's where the castle is. You don't want to go down that way.
Yep. And look at this whole scene's perspective, like you said, because his perspective is, that's a bad direction, don't go. While her perspective is, I need to go there, say my brother. And the perspective of the walls, it's all interconnected. Yeah, it's great. Great sequence. I wonder if she could have fit into his little hole. Into his home. I think she could have, but like I was curious.
I mean, it didn't look like she could, but with this labyrinth, she would have tried to walk over and it would have grew to her size or something.
That's what I'm thinking. So I'd love to see if they could pull that off, but in my mind, it would have worked. See, TJ, I don't absolutely hate this movie. There's some things I like about it. It's
not how you're pursuing it, though. I mean, portraying
it. I hate the movie. Don't get me wrong. I do hate this movie. There's some things that are nice in this story. There's some corn pieces in this story. Yeah.
They're stealing from Harry Potter before Harry Potter was even made.
Yeah. God damn you, JJ.
I actually wonder if what's her name? J.K. Rowling?
J.K., that's it. J.K. Rowling, yeah.
J.K. Rowling was a fan of this movie and probably got the name from it.
She would have had to have been. Like Hogwarts, like how are the odds they both come up with a fake word like that, and they're both fantasy movies? Like she had to be inspired by this movie. Maybe she's playing homage to Hogwarts.
Oh no, she did steal from a bunch of things, so.
That's just typical for writers and people who are artists. Hang homage, TJ. We get to our first musical number.
So she's further in the maze, and there's the first song that happens here with David Bowie, but it's intercut with Sarah using lipstick to mark the direction of which turn she's taking, because now there's a bunch of turns and stuff in the labyrinth. It looks more like an actual labyrinth, but every time she marks something, these little creatures from underneath like either turn it, the tile she was around, or make it disappear or whatever. So while Sarah's doing that, David Bowie's having a song. The song is just to make the kid stop crying.
It's annoying.
So it's actually, I like the song. It's pretty iconic, actually. It's like one of the ones that I remember most from it. Yeah. And David Bowie throws a baby in the air, literally.
Yeah.
And
the goblin catches it.
Again,
what's he do? Like, he's a goblin king. Like, what the f*** he do? Like, what's his job? Like, I know he's like, does he dictate? Like, hey guys, this is how you guys feed each other. Like, what's he doing?
Like when he's not in the labyrinth?
Yeah, like when
there's not a Sarah in the labyrinth?
Yeah, does he just take babies and like transfer? I think the story would have been better. Like, I take the baby and I turn to goblins, and this is why I get this for this goblins game. Like, I think
that's what they imply. But
they don't tell you that. So you
yes,
don't know.
They do. They say if Sarah doesn't reach the center of the thing in time, Toby turns into a goblin.
When the f*** you say that?
It's in the movie.
That's so much better then. Wow. But still, like, I just think, like, what's he do? Like, okay, he gets the goblins, then what? Like, he gets babies, turns into goblins, then what? Like,
he has minions. He likes apparently likes to have sing-songs.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy. So like, what's he do? Like, what's he do though? Besides that, like.
Besides kidnap babies and turn them into goblins?
No, they offer them to him. They also kidnap them. Like, hey, Goblin King, take this.
Just because
I don't want to be a mother or a father. Just take the baby.
Just because the kid's brother the kid's sister says, Goblin King, come take this child away from me, doesn't mean it's not kidnapping, especially when
kidnapping.
Especially when she says, give me my brother back, I didn't actually mean it. And two, she is not the legal guardians of that child, so
but the child was placed in her care for the night.
But it would still be when her parents came home. I guarantee the police would be like, "You took this kid from this parent's home. That's kidnapping."
And he'd be like, "Nah, listen, motherfuckers. This lady said
this teenage girl said I can take her."
She said, in the words that had to be said, she said it wrong the first few times. She said the right words the right way. It's like, oh, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's my thing, guys.
This teenage girl said magic words, so I'm allowed to take this child.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's kidnapping.
So she literally gave him away. Like, hey, take the kid. I'm tired of this crying baby.
It's kidnap.
It's not kidnapping. That's not kidnapping.
And honestly, this is just the scenario for this child. Who knows how many kids she had? Because this is a specific scenario.
It is. And that's it's the way I'm seeing him. He's a good guy in my eyes. He's not a good guy, but he's not a bad guy.
Where the Goblin King is in love with Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes the kid because she wants him to. She wants him to for her. Anything. So he could have. But what about all these other kids? Goblins.
Yeah, that's all speculation. We don't know. I'm saying down the facts that I saw in the movie that he's not that bad.
It's not her kid to give away. Is my point.
She still gave it away though.
But she didn't intend to give it away. It's
that's on her. And he's let her get it back.
I'm just saying, legally, he has no case. He's kidnapping.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's kidnapping. If anything, they're both wrong, and she should get jail time too. Like you were doing child endangerment, or like whatever you do, like this attorney.
She was literally acting out a play. She didn't know they were magic words.
She was acting out of play because she was angry at the child for no reason. She's not a good kid.
You've never got frustrated with a crying child.
Not really. As a kid, it cries. That's what they do. That's what they do. They
you cry. Can tell you never deal with kids.
I've dealt my fair share of kids. And in appropriate ways, I have dealt with my kids.
Not for long periods of time, apparently. Because
I don't have any children. I want children. I know how annoying they are.
But so you're just
I know
like
they cry. That's what they do.
Yeah, and if it's a kid's continuously crying for ever and won't stop. Eventually, you get
forever. She just got home and the thing was crying.
You don't know how many days and stuff this kid has been terrorizing this family.
Terrorizing. You guys chose to have a child. That's on them.
She didn't choose it. She's 16 years old.
Well, be a good sister. Make some friends and stay out the house that way. How about that?
Oh, coming from you, go make some friends. That makes a lot of sense.
I've got my fair share of friends. And
you got friends when you don't go out.
Yeah, because I don't have a kid bother me to make me want to go out.
I'm just saying.
If there was a kid in my house right now crying all the time, I would not be here at all.
You just don't know the circumstances of this family's thing to just be able to say.
Come on.
Just to be able to say, you have to be better at this and be better at that. The world doesn't work that way.
I'm not saying be better. I'm just saying don't wish upon a Goblin King to take your kid or brother and be surprised it came and took the goddamn thing. Just don't be surprised it came. She lives in
New York in 1985. She doesn't live in frickin' Fantasia.
I know, but it's just you wished upon something terrible towards something. If that thing happens, no matter how unlikely it is, you can't be but so shocked. Damn, I kind of want that to happen.
She didn't want it to happen, but you know what? When it did happen, she didn't say, okay, I give up. I guess you're right. No, she said, okay, I'll play by your rules and go and get my brother back.
Yeah, but constantly she's saying it's unfair and blah blah blah. You got yourself
because she's still technically a kid, essentially.
She got herself in this own dumb situation. It's just dumb.
She got herself into a situation that she had no possible knowing that it could happen. It's a fantastical world with goblins.
Whatever. I don't want to keep arguing the same point.
Now I lost where I'm at.
Lipstick. Lands her in front of the impossibly to answer door situation.
Oh, right. Okay. So, yeah, she comes across two doors. One always tells the truth. One always lies.
Clever idea, but I think that's impossible to figure out.
Well, apparently it is because she gets it wrong.
Yeah. And they even say, I don't know how this works. Like, yeah, it seems impossible to figure that out.
Yeah, so she chooses the wrong door and falls down a hole of hands.
It's just super creepy.
Yeah, and and the hands talk by like forming faces with various hands. It's very actually imaginative.
This whole movie is very imaginative. I like that. But I was going to bring up, so what point is this learning how to become an adult? Or a part, like whatever you said earlier, like, when does this start kicking in?
Well, she's still acting like she's still saying things aren't fair. So she's still at that point where she's still in the mindset. She's like still overcoming at this point. So yeah, so she falls down the she gets caught by the tunnel full of hands, and they ask her, "Do you want to go up or down?" And she's like,
the answer, I would think.
Yeah, but is it?
I mean, there is no answer, obviously, but like
she's like,
Mark is like, I'm going up. Of course, I'm going up. Why would I
don't know, but if I was in this situation where she is and everything seems backwards, I think I might say, I guess I'll go down because everything else is pointing that way, you know?
Not a chance in hell.
So, I mean, down seems to be the right way.
For the movie, yeah, but like, I think she would have done just as good going up. Again, I don't think either one's the right answer.
Yeah, it doesn't. You're right. It would probably just lead to a different set of encounters.
Yeah, like, there's no right answer, but it's just my logic. I would have gone up. You can't go wrong with it. It was like, I know I saw what's up is up, so that's how I'm going.
Well, she chooses down, and she goes down, and she ends up in the oubliette, which...
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
What?
What's it called?
An oubliette.
Oubliette. Okay, before you get to that, I had my notes. This baby, the actor, must have been terrified during the puppet scene with the David Bowie dancing and singing and shit. Like, he must have been like, what the...
I don't know, they get him to smile and stuff.
Yeah, I guess, but like...
Maybe he was terrified at first, that's why he was still crying. But then when the puppets and stuff start singing and stuff, maybe...
Yeah, I would love to see it behind the scenes of that, like how they get the baby to be like, it's okay, kid, this is all fake.
I mean, like, I would imagine, too, he was probably terrified. But, you know, when things like puppets and stuff start dancing and stuff, it kind of could make a kid smile. And, you know, when it's all jovial all of a sudden. That was the whole point of the song, to get the kid to stop crying.
No, I know, until the main actor picks you up and throws you in the air. Like, oh, wow, this is terrifying again.
I don't think he actually threw him up in the air.
No.
But anyway.
Yeah, I just want to put that point out there. But yeah, she falls into a thing, you said?
An oubliette.
Yes.
Do you know what an oubliette is?
No, I do not.
It's just a dungeon. It's like a cell in a dungeon, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a fancy word for jail cell.
Like in Return, the Swamp Thing Returns. What was the Swamp Thing? One of the Swamp Things.
There's an oubliette in the swamp.
Yeah, remember he gets into... God, it's going back. He gets caught. It's like, God, after the guy turns into like a little...
Is that the only superhero movie we came across that had a dungeon in it?
Not recall, yeah. Yeah. See, that's so far.
That was a weird callback as all.
And I remember that because I remember editing it. Like, oh yeah, this happens. I edited it a while ago, but yeah.
Okay. So once she reaches the bottom, she comes across a Hoggle again. Yep. So Hoggle's like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you get out now," and
because I'm a good person now.
Yeah, because I'm a good person now.
Yeah, I've always been a good guy, guys. Sure,
and then Sarah's like, okay, if you help me get to the center of the labyrinth, I'll give you this ring, right? It was a ring, or was it a bracelet?
It's plastic bracelet.
As a bracelet. And he's like, what is this made of? And she's like, plastic? And he's like, wow, plastic.
Yeah, no, it's bad for the environment, Hoggle. She's doing bad things.
You don't know. Maybe it's good for the labyrinth environment. I'm just saying, different dimensions and all.
Plastic is evil.
I'm just saying, in this dimension, it could be good, because I'm assuming it's a different dimension. And you don't know, maybe plastic is why we were created as humans, because the Earth couldn't produce plastic itself.
Naturally,
so we needed us. So it needed us to create it, and that was our entire purpose.
We had to create things that would kill us all.
Well, that's exactly. And now, once the plastic kills us all, it can survive with its new plastic.
I wonder how it's going to turn out in the future. It's living with those next species that rules the Earth. They find plastic remnants of us. Like, what the
I don't know. Right now, we're in the Labyrinth universe, so...
Yes. So Hoggle now, being a good guy, wants to open doors for her. Like, listen, motherfucker, why did you do this beginning?
Because he's not a good guy here.
Because he sucks.
He's still a jerk here.
Is he though?
Yeah, because he's not really going to lead... Well, he wasn't intending to really lead her to the center of the labyrinth. He was going to take her back to the beginning of the labyrinth, like he was ordered to by the Goblin King.
So I thought he was lying about that.
No. That's what he was ordered to do. And then when Sarah gave him the plastic, he changed his mind.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He became a good guy after the plastic. Well, so he's lying to the king. I know what you're saying. I get it.
And so he was like, "There's doesn't seem to be an exit out of this oubliette." So Hoggle picks up a wooden door from the ground and places it against the wall. And it's typical magic door. Now it leads somewhere. Excuse me. Well, first it's a closet, and then it's the exit. And as they're walking out of the oubliette, and they come across a bunch of faces that give warnings. And Hoggle's like, "Don't give us warnings. We don't need them." They're like, "Please, we haven't done this in a long time." And he's like, "Fine." And so they give them the warnings, and then they come across, I don't know how to explain this thing, a beggar, essentially.
Yeah, beggar with a bird's beak.
No, not that part yet.
What beggar?
They're still down in the dungeon, and then a crystal rolls up to this beggar, and it turns out to be the Goblin King in disguise.
Yeah, he's got the beak on.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the bird.
No.
The bird later.
No.
Okay. So, and it's the Goblin King in disguise, and he's like, "Are you helping her?" Hoggle's like, "No. I think you're helping her." "I'm not." And so he's like, "If you're helping her," is it here that he says? Hold on, I gotta refer to my notes here.
The smell thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, "If you're helping her, we're gonna dump you into the bog of eternal stench," which is a bog that really smells, and if you step in it or put any part of you stink forever.
Forever.
And he's like, "Please, not that." And then I forget how this conversation goes.
It's a bad movie. The Goblin King, she I think, so the main character is like, "This isn't that bad of a Labyrinth," because Labyrinth King,
right.
Goblin King asked her, "How's it going?" She's like, "It's not that bad." So the Goblin King's like, "Oh, it's not that bad?" Fast forward the timer by 2 hours. Like, listen to that idiot. And just add some more stuff to him. I'm going to throw this little crystal ball I'm playing with around. Throw out the darkness, and here comes the tunnel thing. Now run for your life, you idiot. And that's what happens.
Yeah, she's like, this tunnel this labyrinth isn't that hard. It's still playing up the arrogance in her and stuff like that. And then the Goblin King throws the crystal ball and reveals the cleaners, which is just a giant drill, which I wonder if how they actually built that.
Why?
Because did they build the tunnel around this thing, or did they squeeze it in there?
Wait, you mean for the movie or for the world?
For the movie itself, because this thing is perfectly fit into this place.
They probably just measured it.
I don't know. And so they're about to get drilled to death, I guess. They come across the dead end and they break through a wall, and then they climb up a ladder and they're out.
That was easy.
I mean, how else did you expect them to solve it?
Honestly, yeah.
So at the top, they come across an old man with a bird for a hat.
Yeah, it's really just so goddamn long. It's like, goddamn, how many encounters do we need? It's just a lot of random encounters. Like, God.
I mean, that's practically any fantasy story. It's just a bunch of random encounters.
This was not fun or thrilling or like what we think.
Okay. So they get up, and and Sarah's like, "We're friends, Hoggle," and he's like, "We are." And then they hear this howling. Oh, I've skipped ahead. Sorry, we're at the bird person.
Yeah.
So the bird person is essentially unhelpful,
Shocker.
And Sarah pays him, and Hoggles, "Why'd you pay him for nothing?" And she's like, "I don't know." And so they continue on the labyrinth, where they come across these tiny little people with these monsters on sticks that bite things. And then this is where Hoggle and Sarah hear this howling. And these tiny little things are torturing this monster? I'm not sure.
It's like Bigfoot, I would think. I don't know how you would describe this thing.
Yeah.
It's a big, hairy beast with horns, a very sad face.
His name's Ludo. And so Sarah helps him by throwing rocks at him that Ludo can summon rocks with his howl. So Sarah throws rocks at the little guys and gets them down from the tree, and she's got a new companion now.
Yeah.
Hoggle ran away, by the way, because of the howl, and says, "We're not friends, I'm the only friend with me." And then he runs away.
Of course he does.
And I think it was at this point, throughout the movie, there are different scenes. Like, she says it's not fair, or she says other different things like that over spoiler exchange, and she realizes at certain points in the movie, that's right, this isn't fair. So
yes.
I got to go and look at this differently, essentially.
Yes. Yeah. Well, see, me being me at this age, I think it's common sense. Maybe me being at her age, I thought the same thing, but I just feel like, yeah, no shit, it's not fair. You're in a f***ing real world. weird world with Labyrinth, the Goblin King, who does magical bullshit. Like, what do you think? It's not. Of course, it's not gonna be fair. Why do you have that mindset, you weirdo?
Because, like as you said, you have 30 years of experience under you right now. She doesn't
I
have.
know. But even she's 16.
I think she's supposed to be 16. I know Jennifer Connelly, when she took the role, was 14.
She was 14 years. So yeah, a teenager. If I was a teenager, I don't think I would have been like any different than I am now. I know I was a different person back then. I don't think like,
Yeah,
of course we're in a wacky world. Of course left is right.
but not
down.
everyone's
like
like that. People grow up at different points, you know?
No, but I mean, like not even the point like being an adult, but it's just me seeing like the world you're in right now. Like, no shit.
But the people have different perspective. Maybe she was brought up in a bubble and she just is. She does seem like
a bubble.
She does seem like she's a bit spoiled. So
it's like in front of your face. This world's weird. Nothing's gonna be fair. The guy just fast forward time by 2 hours. Duh. Duh, lady, duh.
Yeah, but he also hasn't given her a reason to not believe he wouldn't be cheating either.
Yeah, but like everything from the impossible question door to the hand, it's just like it's all weird. So don't expect the rules of your world to be this world.
Yeah, but she only says it's not fair when something is cheating.
Yeah, I guess.
She doesn't say it's. She never complains it's not fair when she picked the wrong door and fell the wrong thing. She realized she picked the wrong door.
I don't think it would say it's not fair. I'm like, that sucks. Well, I don't think whatever. It's me and her, I guess.
Anyway, she rescues Ludo and she comes across 2 more doors. This one is knockers. She doesn't. The doors don't know where the knockers talk. And they don't know where the doors lead, so she's just got to pick one. So she picks one that has a knock. One's got the knockers in its ears, one's got it in its mouth. It's kind of like a...
See no evil.
Yeah, see no evil, hear no evil kind of thing. And she picks the one with the mouth and knocks and goes through it, and she ends up in the forest. And in my opinion, this is the worst scene in the entire movie.
This is the worst scene?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, Ludo falls down some kind of hole and disappears, and then Sarah comes across the fire gang, and it's kind of they sing
before
this.
That happens. The Hoggle makes that back up with like which part of the Goblin King.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. The Goblin King gets back to Hoggle. It's right before the dumbass weird scene. Hoggle beats Goblin King goes to Hoggle.
Is that here? Are you sure?
It's literally. I'm watching it right now. It literally happens right before this.
Oh, okay. I was literally a scene before that on here. And I must have skipped over in my notes, but yeah, okay. So yeah, Hoggle comes across the Goblin King, and the Goblin King's like, and Hoggle hears Sarah scream, and he goes to help. He wants to go help her, and Hoggle's like, and King's like, "You're not gonna help her, right?" He's like, "No, I'm gonna lead her back to the beginning." "No, don't do that. Here, give her this peach instead." And Hoggle's like, "It's not gonna hurt her, is it?" And he's like, "No, it's not gonna hurt her. But why do you care?" And it's like, "I don't." And he's like, "Hoggle, if she ever kisses you, you're going to be dumped in the eternal stench. It's important for later." And so he has the peach now, and we're going forward.
Yes.
Now we get the fire gang. And these things are just like, they're hard to explain too. They're just like orange, like almost monkey-ish like.
Yeah? They're like stray cats that are 2 legs, and it's weird.
Right. Essentially what it is that they can detach their body parts. All of their body parts, essentially. Their legs, their hand, their arms, their head, and stuff like that. And then they sing a really bad song, and with behind bad CGI. And as they're singing, Sarah's trying to get away from them, and she knocks one of their heads off. You can't knock someone's head off. Only can throw our heads away. And she runs into a dead end essentially. And then Hoggle saves the day by dropping a rope and bringing her back up. And Sarah, happy that she was saved by him, kisses him on the cheek, and then they fall down a hole and almost into the bog of eternal stench. Sarah and Hoggle are like on this ledge, and they have to carefully cross her, and then they fall on top of Ludo. Oh, look, everyone's reunited, and this is the part that broke Marcus that's coming up.
Yep.
So they come across. So now that everyone's together, they're going across. They have to cross this bridge, and we get introduced to the last of the companions, Sir Didymus and his sheepdog Ambrosius.
The sheepdog's the same dog from her real life, I assume. Her Toto.
Yes. Everything's from her real life, technically.
And this guy's got a little this is kind of like a bridge troll, but not really, because he's stupid and doesn't understand. Like, oh, just ask him. He sucks. He's annoying and he sucks, TJ.
To be fair, they didn't ask.
Yeah, but he didn't think like, oh, they just asked. Like, he never had that like epiphany before.
No one's asked them before. They all just try to cross the bridge.
Yeah, of course. And there's a dumb fight between him and the big thing. It was terrible. Like, God damn it, man. I was like, just cussing the whole time.
Sir Didymus is essentially Scrappy-Doo.
Yeah, that's why I hate him. That's why I hate him. It's like, God damn, someone put this thing down. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's essentially, he's very brave, and he'll fight to the death and stuff like that. He's not afraid of anything.
And he's tiny.
Yes. Anyway, so no one's allowed to cross the bridge. Sir Didymus is fighting with Ludo, and then Hoggle runs across the bridge as this happened, and then, they fight to a draw, essentially, Ludo and Sir Didymus. And then Didymus is like, I've never been bested before. We are now brothers. But I still can't let you cross the bridge. And Sarah's like, all right, let's look at this logically. Why can't we cross the bridge? And Didymus is like, because you need my permission. And then she is, can we have your permission? And he's like, sure. And then they cross the bridge. So they get permission to cross the bridge. And as Sarah's crossing the bridge, it collapses and breaks because it's a shitty bridge. And she's going to fall into the bog of eternal stench. So Ludo summons the rocks to create a rock bridge.
But then she gets punished for being a good person. Like, hey, I did the thing right, but now I'm getting punished for about to fall into this stench thing.
Well, that's
me, I guess, right? Like, next time I should kill the guy and do my thing anyways. Like,
I mean, to be fair, that bridge didn't look very sturdy, and
but like,
it's like one plank, and Hoggle did cross it first, so it's like, I don't know.
See, that situation, like, if I was, again, going back to D&D, and I should compare to D&D, if I was presented this situation in D&D and saw the NPC run across while we were trying to figure the thing out, we figure, just ask the guy. Okay, points. We can pass the bridge now. Pass the bridge. Now it collapses onto you guys. What the DM? What the module? What the game? Now what? Next time this happens, I'm just going to kill the guy and do my own thing. Because apparently I can't win and get through the thing.
That's not true. You did gain a companion out of it, though. You gain an NPC out of it.
Cannon fodder. We gained cannon fodder. Thanks. 9 times out of 10 at D&D, forget the DM forgets you have. Oh yeah, you got the guy with you. Shit, he's doing something else right now.
Like, I don't know. It depends on what kind of NPC it is. Sometimes you get an overpowered NPC that helps you throughout the whole thing.
Sometimes, but not enough. And some people don't want NPCs to help them out. They don't want the DM characters. They want to be them to play the game and not get all the time for no reason. And I feel like that would have you a lot for no reason. So either encounter a guy, get in a battle, either kill him, get over the bridge, and still collapses on
you. But I mean, at the same time,
it's a lose no matter what.
And at the same time, you would have came across that counter and DM said, presents the situation, and then when you look at the bridge, he would probably say the bridge doesn't look all that stable.
A good DM, I think, would have probably says that. But there's some DMs who are mediocre and bad.
You can't blame D&D for that. You can only blame the poor storytelling of poor DMs for that. But like, if it was me in that situation, I'll be like, okay, this bridge doesn't look exactly the most stable here. You could try to cross it. I would probably make you do a dex check or something, and then I'd probably roll to see if the bridge breaks.
This sounds like shittiness after shittiness. Like, I had to counter this shitty PC or NPC, and then I gotta counter this shitty bridge. Like, god damn it. Just to somewhat go further into the story I really want to play in the first place.
You have no right to complain about how other people play and the shittiness of things like that, consider the things that you've done.
There's only been one major thing I've done badly. That's it.
I'm gonna bring you back to Pixie, first of all, and all the crap that character put us through.
Crap that he put you guys through.
All that bullshit, and then there's the
knife thing.
The whole knife situation.
That's the only situation I recall being an asshole in. For some reason, I don't even know why I did that. I can't explain that one personally.
You almost blew the cover of the entire operation because you wanted to steal something as one of your characters. Don't tell me you are not the perfect player.
I never said I was a perfect player.
You've brought on more crap than you let on as much as you're complaining.
I don't believe I have. I truly don't believe I have. It's usually other characters. I don't want to.
That's everyone else's fault, right?
No. I've done my fair share. But I don't think I've done a lot to like.
You've done a lot, not as much as not in comparison to some of the other players, but you've done enough.
I don't think I have. Like what? What have I done besides the knife thing? What as Pixie have I done?
You almost blew the whole. Why are we talking about this on this podcast?
I don't fucking know. This movie's D&D. That's why. This movies are D&D.
I'm going to get back to the movie now because we're almost done, actually.
No, thank God.
So they cross the bridge. Well, the bridge collapsed and Sarah's about to fall in, and the blue summons the rocks. I did have a question about the bog of eternal stench. Don't the rocks smell now?
That's what I thought. Like, you're stepping on rocks that came out of the thing. They should be stinky. So now your shoes should be stinky. You should be all stinky, right?
Or
right?
at least your shoes, right?
Yeah. Well, she's the one wearing shoes. So
or maybe you have to be dipped in it, and it's not just.
That makes no sense. No sense. And then you step on the rocks and make fart noises because, haha, farts are funny, guys.
I mean, it's just trying to show you that it stinks. Whatever. It's got kid elements for sure.
Dumb.
Anyway, so they get across, and Hago's about to throw the peach in the thing, but then I guess the Cowboy Gang talks in his head and says, "Don't do it." And then I guess some time passes later as they're going for it because everyone's hungry now, and Hago gives Sarah the peach, and she eats it, and then she goes on a drug trip.
Yeah, because Hago's a bad person.
Yeah.
Ruby's his best friend. He's a monster.
Yeah, I mean, he is. And then he comes back and redeems himself by saving the day.
For drugging your friend. I don't think you ever redeem yourself for drugging your friend, honestly.
I don't know if he knew it was drugged.
He knew enough.
He knew enough that something bad was going to happen. Yes.
So she was going to get f***ed up somehow from this thing. So if I deliberately give you something without telling you, hey, this might f*** you up somehow, it's pretty shitty as me as a person.
Yeah, but he's not a very good person. We already discussed all this, and that's kind of his arc is overcoming his shortcomings.
Yeah, but I don't think you can ever come past that. Like that's like, bro, you drugged me. Yeah, but like, nah, f*** you.
I mean, fair, but
there's no way I could be cool with anyone. Even if you saved my life after you drugged me, sure, you saved my life. You did drug me before, so.
I mean, maybe you'll have trouble trusting that person, sure, but doesn't necessarily mean if he saved your life.
I don't owe my life debt. I'll tell you that.
No, but it's not at the same time that you don't write that person off forever.
They're back to being just a person, not an acquaintance, not a friend. You're like, okay, you're still in the ether of not bad.
Right, you still have to work at and back to where you are and prove that you're able to trust.
They would need to do a lot to make me trust them again.
And that's fair, but
I don't think I ever could trust them again, honestly.
Not 100%, no, but there could be a moment where you can still like hang out or whatever.
No, I was still thinking like, man, I should cover my drink or.
I mean, I wouldn't
food from that person.
Accept person again. From him, sure.
Yeah,
that's
so
fair.
That level of trust is never like. So
maybe not hang out with them one-on-one.
See, like you're never a friend to me again. Like you're just a person who, cool. You saved my life, which is great. I appreciate that.
I'm just saying
but I still have some form of PTSD from you doing that thing.
But it's not like
the passage of time. I can't. Well, get back.
It's not like he was doing it maliciously. He's like he did it because he was threatened by the Goblin King, and he's being pushed into it, and he doesn't want to do it. There isn't like he wasn't purposely trying to. He was essentially a coward.
He's very cowardly,
and he says he's a coward, and that's part of his arc is overcoming that.
I respect that, but still, f*** you. That's all.
I mean, that's fair. That's your opinion, but some people are more forgiving than you are.
I would not be, guys. I lost time to save my brother too. That I put in this situation. Like,
I'm just saying, you are not a 16-year-old girl.
I know.
So,
hate is real, people. Watch what people give you to put in your body. That's all.
Anyway. She eats the peach and she goes on a bit of a drug trip where she's in a masquerade ball.
Yeah, some eyes wide shut shit.
Yeah, according to the behind the scenes stuff, the actual other people were supposed to be like more sexualized and stuff. This is supposed to be like one of those scenes.
Yeah, one of those weird freaky BDSM shits.
She like a sexual awakening scene and stuff like that. I'm
glad it didn't go that route.
No. I mean, it's kind of still there. That's what kind of David Bowie's there for, because they mentioned in the beginning when she's talking to her mom, and mom's like, I wish you would go out on dates. You're supposed to be dating, and because apparently she's not. So that's kind of like her, like the whole Goblin King and stuff, and his fascination with her. Our whole relationship is about that side of her awakening and everything. So, all right, so. She's in that, and she realizes this isn't real, and she breaks out of it, and she wakes up in a junkyard.
Yeah, the f*** is that? You drugged me that you drugged me in a swamp, and then I wake up in a junkyard?
All right, so here's the thing. When she was drugged, David Bowie sent out those crystals through the air, and essentially she's in one of those crystals.
Yeah.
So when she busts out of it. She's in the sky, and she falls into the junkyard from there. Was no longer in the forest.
So she just got sex tracked with it. So it's almost she didn't want to be. Because her friend just drugged her. Hello?
I'm here. I'm just letting you get it out of your. I'm letting you get it out of your system.
Yeah, just saying.
Anyway, so she wakes up in a junkyard and comes across a bunch of junk ladies.
I thought it was just one.
It looks like there was a couple.
Okay.
I mean, I could be wrong though. And she's like, and Sarah doesn't remember anything. She doesn't remember what she was doing, and so the junk lady gives her bear, and she's like, "You were looking for this, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then she takes her to her room. She goes inside, and it's her room from her actual room.
Wow.
She goes, lays on a bed, and she's like, "It must have been all a dream." And you're probably like, "No."
I knew it was because I saw the time. Like, there's too much time for it to still be a dream. But yeah, I knew it was going to mention that trope eventually. It was like the first note on my thing, like, oh, it's all a dream trope, huh? So I was waiting for them to mention it, and they did it. So yeah, shocker on original movie.
No, it would have been unoriginal if it was actually a dream.
Oh, it was a dream. Oh man, you have no. I would have really hated this movie.
Well, it's not, because she goes to open the door and it's junkyard, and the junk lady comes in, and so she's like giving her all these toys, putting all the toys on her shoulders and stuff like that. And Sarah's like, something's not right here. And she picks up the Labyrinth book, and then she remembers she's got to go get her brother. And so she realizes at this point that all the toys that she has is just junk. She doesn't need them. This is stupid. I mean, these aren't important. So she casts them. That they're childish. That she doesn't need them. Exactly. If you can notice, the junk lady has a bunch of junk on her back, and she was putting all this stuff on Sarah, trying to turn her into a junk lady, only to care about her toys and stuff.
Well, the toys do matter. They get value over time. You buy two, you keep one in the box.
You get
one to play with.
Shut up. Shut up.
You imagine like all the Star Wars fans would have saw this at the time, like, yeah, we'll open all my Star Wars toys. No, don't do that.
No, it's just about letting go of the child's things, letting go of the things you thought were important that really aren't important. Like, yes. And so
yes, let go of those childish things that kept you full of hope and joy and become a cynical old adult.
She doesn't have to throw them away. It's just they're not the most important things.
They're more important than family, is what I'm saying.
Oh, to you they are. Your
if someone touches my minis, I'm killing everyone. Material
possessions is all you care about.
Family comes and goes, but materials stay forever. Especially for plastics.
Okay.
That's terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, she realizes that this is all just junk. It's not really that important. I gotta go save my brother. And so she escapes the house and reunited with her group, and they get to the Goblin City.
Okay, so why is the Goblin King like, I guess he's testing her, thinking these things is what she really likes.
Yes.
So she's overcoming them. He's like, she's growing up. I don't like this.
Right. She's like, she's not falling for the things that she should be falling for. Like, she's not being distracted by her fantasies and her wants and stuff like that. She's getting closer and closer to the castle. And as she reaches the city, the goblins are like, she's here. And she's like, go stop them. She can't reach here.
He should just kill her.
He doesn't want to kill her.
Why not, though?
He's in love with her.
So let your love die.
In his mind.
It's not love, first off. That's fucking weird, whatever you want to call it. It's not love.
Like I said, in his mind, he is doing all of this for her. Mm-hmm. So, in his mind, he is in love with her. And whether you want to call that obsession with us or whatever, that's the whole completely thing. But in his mind, he is doing this for her.
Granted, she's probably the other only human-sized adult he's seen in forever, so I guess that's why he loves her.
No, he could turn into an owl and go to see any other person he wants.
Oh, he's the owl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously he's kidnapped a bunch of other people that have all these goblins.
Yeah, but the kids, though, he adopted kidnaps. Not like human-sized, adult-sized people.
Yeah, but who do you think he's kidnapped them from?
Yeah, people are sleeping. I don't know. He's a pedophile then, I guess. It's weird.
According to you have to say magic words in order for this to happen, so...
But do you think they all gone through the maze? No.
No, because they're all probably, I didn't want that kid in the first place.
Yeah, so they probably sleeping or whatever.
Like I said, he kidnaps children.
He doesn't kidnap.
Okay.
They offer them up. He's like, okay, I'm taking the offer.
You just said they kidnapped the children from their beds in their sleep.
I mean, he takes them. But like while they're sleeping, after they've been offered up. You know what I mean? See what I say? The intense shit for D&D, which is really, you know what I meant.
Uh-huh. Sure.
I don't think he's a kidnapper.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's a saint, but I'm not saying he's a bad guy either.
Okay. He's a kidnapper. Anyway. So they get to the Goblin City, and this is just one long action scene, essentially, where the goblins are attacking the characters, and then Bluto summons a bunch of rocks to fight back. And honestly, it goes on a little too long.
Way too long.
So, but, it's technically the climax of the movie, so I get it. And they wanted to show off their Goblin City, because it does look cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I can see this whole movie being, like, a part of a music park, a part of Disney or Universal.
Yeah, or, like, it would be... What is it called when you actually act out D&D?
LARPing?
Yeah, I can see a bunch of LARPers enjoying this kind of set or something.
God, you're so right. Like, this is like, if they were to, like, do a pop-up LARPing thing for this, all the hipster millennials nowadays, they would eat this shit up. You're so right.
Yeah, they would be so into this.
That makes me sick. God, I hate it. It'd be just like, if they would do it every year, it'd be like the Labyrinth con. I'll come to LabbyCon or some shit.
We have nothing against LARPers.
I honestly don't, but just imagining for this and how much they really get into this shit, like, ugh.
No, I'm not even saying LabyrinthCon. Like, this whole city, I could see, for a D&D campaign or something.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, them acting it out and having, like, innkeepers and stuff like that.
Essentially a 4-H fair. It's essentially a 4-H
like,
fair.
a really elaborate Renaissance fair, which I've never been to, so I wouldn't even know. But maybe they are elaborate.
Yeah. There is a part of me that would LARP, but only like I would LARP for like an hour or two, and I could like that's enough of that for my life.
I can't see myself doing it.
No.
Like, I like D&D, but that's...
There's a line. There's a fine line. Trust me, I get it.
Yeah, there's like... I'm throwing sandbags at each other and stuff. It's like...
like, this is ridiculous.
This is just stupid. I think that's the new line. You know how playing D&D used to make you the nerd or whatever, and now it's more accepted. But I think if you're LARPing, that's the new line. But whatever. Like, I don't have anything against that. It's just...
No, you get happy yourself and do it.
Like, it's like, it's not for me. So I don't really like leaving my house either. So.
Oh, for sure. I think my problem is if I got dressed up to do it, I would have a self-realization like, what the f*** am I doing?
Yeah, I
am too old for this.
Don't dress up in costumes.
No, I like costumes though, but I just don't wear them.
Well, I think they're cool.
Yeah,
me personally, I don't even like wear clothes with like designs on them. Everything I wear is plain.
I'm weirdly kind of similar. Like, because I'm a big guy, so some designs I wear, I look like a f***ing big billboard. So I have to stay more neutral for my shit, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think I own. I only own like pure black and blue shirts.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Yep, just base shit.
Yeah, I don't have anything that has anything on it.
Yeah, but if you want to LARP, people go LARP. Who cares if someone's judging you? No, their life, do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, just the way you were going at it, you were kind of like...
No, because it does bring a lot of cringe to me. I do judge those people. But again, it's just who cares? Do the thing that you like. I get mega cringe from it. Like,
I get it. I get, because, playing D&D, it's fun. And I guess a live action version of it, I get you wanting to be in the role, but I don't know. I kind of got more out of DM than I did actually playing, so.
That's fair. Anyways, Goblin City.
Yeah. So yeah, they fight their way through the Goblin City. There's a lot of cool effects and puppetry in here and stuff. Although there's like a gun at one point, which I was surprised.
There's a gun in this movie?
Yeah, it was like a machine gun that was shooting at them.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, they break through and they get to the castle, and Goblin King's not there, and there's Toby. And she's like, all right, there's only one way to go. I gotta face him alone. You guys stay here. And then so they're like, if you need us, we'll be here. And she's like, I know. And so she goes forward into an MC Escher painting.
Yep.
Literally an MC Escher painting. I'm not just saying
the most famous one, right? I guess the most famous one.
And
the stairwell thing.
And she's going up and down the stairwells, and while the Goblin King's singing his song about,
Yeah, I skipped all this.
Huh?
I skipped the song.
How did you skip the song? It's while she's going through the stairs.
The fast forward button is like 30 seconds long. It's like every time I push it, I see the song play, I see I'm doing the thing. Cool, I get the gist. Skip it. So I hear the song stop playing. So I get the gist of the scene. I'm just skipping the bullshit.
You didn't even watch the whole movie. You didn't even watch it.
I told you, every song I skipped through, I was like, I'm not sitting here for the music. Because I learned through musicals that most musical numbers are just pointless as
This one was kind of the point of it.
What was it about?
It's pretty much him telling her that, it's in the lyrics. I don't remember the song off the top of my head. I'm trying. It's pretty much essentially you are doing this to me. Essentially, the reason you're making all this happen is, why are you being so cruel and stuff?
He's saying that
through the lyrics. He is. Yes.
He's saying she's being cruel.
Yes.
How's she being cruel?
Because she's not accepting his gifts, essentially. He's not accepting, the things he's doing for her or what he thinks he's doing for her.
Weird. Psychopaths, man.
Well, he is a bad guy.
It's not that bad, though, when it comes to kids and kids. He was taking something that was offered to him. I'm just saying.
I'm not fighting with you again.
If
I'm just gonna say, if you took any kid, you would be charged with kidnapping. But okay.
She said, "Goblin King, come take the thing."
In the real world, as if it was supposed to come and
Oh, she's fast. I think in court he has got a good defense.
No, he doesn't.
I truly think he does.
This teenage girl said, "Take this child away from me." And so I did. They'll be like, "No, you kidnapped that child."
I didn't. I'm from a world of mystical crap, crazy shit. In my logic, this shit makes sense.
And then you proceeded to endanger that child.
Oh, really?
By putting them in a room with goblins, and then you threatened to, physically change the child into a goblin. I'm sure that's a crime somewhere.
He was a better caretaker to the child than she was throughout this movie. He got to stop crying. He took care of it to be sure.
She's also had the child longer than she did in this movie.
Exactly. Because why? She was a terrible child who gave it away.
Oh my God. She did not mean to give it away.
This is why people who have children should be forced to keep the children to learn to be a good person. This is why I'm anti-abortion. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
But there's clearly an abortion message in this movie, though.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, don't give up your thing for abortion or adoption. Just keep it.
That's not what. There's that message.
Make yourself grow as a person.
This is not. It's not in here. This is not in this movie whatsoever. Not whatsoever.
Makes myself laugh. This whole thing is an anti-abortion message. That's all this is.
Anyway,
it's her guilt of giving away the child she should have kept. That's so terrible. Anywho, David Bowie sings a song. She somehow stops the Goblin King by killing him.
No, she gets to the center of the thing and confronts him, and she starts reciting. The play is from earlier, the first lines of the movie. So she starts pretty much saying the words, and I reach to the center of the city, and then she has trouble remembering the last line because she always has trouble with the last line. And she says, and she comes to the and as she says, remember, she also comes to the realization that you have no power over me whatsoever. None of this does. And so then that breaks essentially the spell, and she ends up back at home.
Yep. Because,
the Labyrinth and the Goblin King and everything really had no control over her whatsoever. And it's her realizing this, it's what brought her out of it. And so back at home, she picks up the bear, and she pretty much gives it to Toby, and realizes that, hey, all of these things that I really thought were important are, and she goes in a room and starts packing away some of her toys and stuff like that. Like, she doesn't really need them. And then she starts seeing the characters in the mirror, and they say, if you need us. And she says, I do need you. It's not all the time, but every now and again, I will need you. And so you do. And then there's a big party, and it ends. They all celebrate in the room that she needs them.
Hate that.
Why?
It's just hammy and cheesy and shit. I hate it.
So, you want to know my theory on this movie?
What?
This was all in her head.
Of course it would. Why wouldn't it be on her f***ing head?
It was all in her head, and it was just her realizing all these things about her, and sure, in this ending, sure, I need to let go of these childish things and stuff like that, and I'm growing up essentially, but I'm always going to need those things to a certain extent. So, and then that's pretty much her accepting, that she was a spoiled brat, and her overcoming her childishness and stuff.
Yeah. No, the same thing like Jumanji and other shit.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
And then the owl flies away, and that is the Goblin King, mission accomplished, essentially.
Yes.
So yeah, I thought it was good.
I hated it. Hated it so much. I still hate it. There are things I liked about the movie. There's some elements I like. Overall, it was just not a movie for me. And I hate it every second of it. I hate it.
You're wrong, but that's okay. You're allowed to.
I can't be wrong about my opinion on art. If it's art, at the end of the day. So you can like it or hate it, no matter how popular or hated movie that thing is, because it's art.
Except when it comes to you, where you're just wrong.
Meant to give you an emotion. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, and you were wrong. Your emotion is wrong.
Your opinion on me being wrong is wrong, because again, it's
nope. Because I'm never wrong.
So what's your rating on this shit movie, TJ?
No, let's get yours out of the way first.
I don't know. I've probably a 2 or a 3.
It is not a 2 or a 3.
I swear to God. There's small things I thoroughly enjoyed about this movie. Like the California thing I liked. Is there anything else I liked about this movie? I don't think so.
Wow. This movie
I'll probably give it a 2. Maybe if I can't recommend this to anyone. I just found little enjoyment out of this movie. It was just an hour and 40 minutes of like this. I would give this a 2. I just did not care for it. And going over it again, I didn't have anything. Oh yeah, that was really good and smart. Nah, the movie. It's a 2 out of 10 for me.
You are. 2 out of 5? This is another one of those movies you're just super hard on for no reason.
I wasn't. It's not for me. I
got you. I understand that, but I think it's a combination of, you watching a bunch of these movies in a row.
Yep.
And you're burnt out on them because for some reason you get burnt out very easily on things.
I get burnt out on a genre I don't care for in the first place.
And then there's also the fact that it was a bit overhyped for you, and you have a very negative opinion of things that get overhyped for you, and you come out swinging against them when you watch them. So a bunch of these, all these things combined, and I think you unfairly are.
I think I'm being fair. This movie wasn't for me.
Yeah, but it's not it's not an objective 2 movie.
Yes, it is. Well, yeah, obviously that's my review of it.
I'm just saying.
It's pretty, but it's a dated 80s movie, so it's going to have where everything expects. If you want to put in that aspect, maybe a 4. If you want to put a dated 80s movie, but it's not good, man. I'm giving it a 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum because I'm at a 7.
A 7. Why?
Because it's a good movie. And there is character development despite what you think. And I actually think the music is fantastic. I think it's pretty. And I think it's a classic storytelling fantasy movie. It's good.
I think the character development there only shows up at the end of the movie. It doesn't show up throughout the movie.
No, it's literally...
Again, these things are for you. But for me, the music, I hate the music. I guess it's 80s music. Like, at a point, it gets old real quickly.
Like, the character development was throughout. She's constantly learning throughout. I explained it to you several times.
Yes, I know. That's fair. I'll give you that, sure. I get that's like, that's why you have a 7 rating on That's perfect. Why is it not an 8, 9, or 10 for you? Like, what holds it back from being better?
Because it's not a perfect movie. Like I said, the fire people scene is really bad.
Yeah.
If you think this movie is slow, I think it just it's breakneck in its speed. I think it jumps from scene to scene to scene, and a lot is happening, and some things get lost in translation that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So, I could definitely see that because they go through a lot of quote-unquote lessons to be learned for her.
Yes.
So I get that. It just felt like it was a lot of nothing. And that's why it felt slow to me.
No, I didn't feel there was nothing. I got every time she learned something. Every time she learned something, she applied it to the next thing that she encountered. Mm-hmm. So, and even Hoggle had character development, overcoming his own cowardness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the other 2 characters were introduced too late in the movie to really have much of an arc. So, and plus Ludo was just there to summon rocks. So
yeah.
And like I said, Sir Dynamis is Scrappy Doo. So there's that. And then this has the same problem that all these 80s movies have. It feels too clustered together. Like everything feels next to each other. Like it's a labyrinth. It's kind of supposed to feel that way, and it's magical, sure. But everything feels like it's next to each other.
Yeah. Yes. It feels like it was made enough for the stage.
Exactly. And but because it was.
Yeah, but it just has that feeling.
It has that feeling because it is, but it's for being made in a film stage. It looks fantastic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked it. Marcus is wrong.
Nope, I'm not wrong. You can't be wrong to art opinion. Opinions of art. You just can't.
Except when your name is Marcus. Marcus always manages to be wrong.
This movie is overhyped and shit.
No, it's No,
you might go in liking it because who the knows? But from my perspective, I just hated it. I had no enjoyment.
Yeah, and you're wrong about that. That's okay.
Nah.
You're allowed to be wrong.
I'm glad that this experience is over. I'm glad I don't have to ever watch this movie again. I'm dreading reviewing this thing, editing it, because I got to fucking relive it for another week after that. But after that's done and done.
So, but with all that being said,
well, let me rate these movies for you. I thought about this.
Go ahead. What are you gonna rate? You can rate them.
Legend's the last place. This
no.
is a step above a Legend.
This is number one. This is number one for me.
Nope. Then comes maybe God. I don't know, man.
It's
the thing for me is like
it's Willow and then Return to Oz.
I was gonna say Return to Oz is above this.
Yeah.
And then Willow, because Willow is like as well made movie as just boring.
Yeah, but
forgetful.
Based on your review of Return to Oz last week, you came out actually liking that movie and accepting that was a good movie, whereas Willow was just an average movie.
Yeah, I liked the Return of Oz, but it's still bad compared to like.
You said it was good.
It's good, definitely. But like, I liked that good bad movie. You know what I'm saying? It's the one. Yes, it's good with a group of friends and people and being under an influence, like I said. But being sober-minded by yourself, it's like, okay, it's a movie. While as Willow, I think it's good no matter what. It's not great. None of the movies I saw, all 5 of these movies, I couldn't say, hey guys, go out and see this is great. Willow is the safest. Return of Oz it's a movie. It's good. Watch it. It's an experience to watch. And then you have Labyrinth and Legend. It's like skip them to hell.
No,
that's my ranking.
You're wrong.
What are your rankings?
Labyrinth is awesome, so that's my number one. And go watch Labyrinth. Don't ignore Marcus. I'm not gonna say it's the best movie in the world, but it's a classic. Then Return to Oz.
It's a cult classic for a reason. Hence, cult classic.
Yeah,
Either go love it or you hate it. That's why the cult classic are cult classics.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. It's reevaluate. It's a lot of these movies from the 80s are being reevaluated today, and that's why they're being cult classic. But just because they're cult classics doesn't mean it's a love it or hate it situation. Some things are just reevaluated by today's standards.
Yeah, that's it, I guess. But I feel more often than not, they become love or hate. It's like, just because it does age differently and better than it should have or did, people can still hate the thing they saw.
No, but you can say that about any movie.
Yeah, that too.
You know?
That's number one.
So I got Labyrinth, then it's Return to Oz, then it's Willow, and then it's Legend.
Wow.
We're in total agreement about Legend.
Yeah, Legend's atrocious. It's the worst one of them all. Oh.
So, despite the fact that I think you're wrong on a lot of these things, I do like that our opinions are very different on these things. Unlike when your theme month, where our opinions were just lockstep.
Yeah, because they were just mediocrely bad movies. I think because none of them had endings, and it just, they were just low, open worldy minded ended bullshits.
So with that being said, it's fair to say that you like 2 of the 4 movies, right? Of mine.
These ones?
Yeah.
Yes. I tolerate 2 of the 4. I don't like them. Of the 4 I've seen, they're the better 2.
But yes, essentially is the answer. I like 3 of the 4 of my movies that I picked.
Yes.
Whereas we both hated all 4 of your movies.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's not hard to say because you literally picked 4 big name movies. I picked 4 underground movies.
All I'm saying is I picked 2 movies that you liked, and you picked no movies that I like, so TJ, I win.
I win. You win. Know why? Because you literally said, "Oh, here's Star Wars movies versus here's some other D-rated sci-fi movies." Of course, people gravitate towards a Star Wars one. Whose
fault is that? I win.
I had a more interesting theme. You just picked that.
No, you didn't. Your theme was so cliched and stupid.
How was what?
Child actors? Really?
Yeah, they're grown up now and see how the movies have done, see how they've gone as actors. Well, cliche and stupid. It's like, let's pick some here's a genre, dark fantasy. That's not cliche and stupid. What?
No.
What?
Nope.
You're insane.
You're wrong.
You're wrong for picking.
Stop picking art house crap.
I'm never gonna stop picking art house crap now. Don't pick always underground. I'm just trying to get movies out there for people to listen and watch something different instead of watching the same old shit. Expand your horizons.
Because 1,000 million people didn't watch La La Land.
Oh, that's once they had that 50 movie quota. I was running out of decent actors to pick from, TJ. No one saw Cooties or Annihilation or something.
They saw them. They just watched 5 minutes like this movie's terrible. I'm never watching this again.
It's good. But at least they put them outside and they got them out the side of the comfort zone and saw those things. I thought of a new theme. I had a good theme I picked the next one.
Oh yeah.
I forget it though, but it was a good one in my head. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got two themes now. Got it.
All right, you can tell me off thing. Let's end these.
Labyrinth sucked. Don't watch
No,
it.
it didn't.
People.
Go watch it because it's awesome.